Greetings, this is really not the video I was planning on putting up today. I was going to start telling the story about what happened to talk radio when I was back at the station here in Portland, but then I got to thinking a little bit. I was thinking about why don't I dress up for the videos? Well, it's a radio thing. You know, if this was a radio show, I could tell you I'm wearing a fine suit. Flower in my lapel. It's rose. It cost over $5. And it came from the finest clothier in Beverly Hills. And I'm putting it on, and I'm wearing it for you. You see, that is a radio thing. You didn't have to dress up. You didn't have to wear a suit. You didn't have to worry about balding hair or that kind of thing. You could just make people use their imagination. And I was thinking, too, because I like to talk about talk radio a lot. And what is a talk show? It's just a mirror. A mirror that you hold up against the community. And it shows you what is here. Nothing else. Just what's here. And you can tell the politician, I didn't say that, they said that. And that's a person, and that's how they feel. It's really how they feel. And it didn't hurt. Being born at the time I was born, it didn't hurt that I had memories of sitting in front of the radio listening to the Lone Ranger, where imagination could just do anything. I interviewed, I think his name was Eddie Ford, my dementia. Anyway, he was the announcer for the Lone Ranger. And he gave the opening to that show, and I shut my eyes, and I saw him on that horse, that Lone Ranger. Yeah, it was really something. That story, God allowed me to be born at a very unique time. It was a time when Ronald Reagan was Screen Actors Guild president, and they did a lot of movies in Lancaster, California, the Antelope Valley. After all, Roy Rogers lived there, too. There's stories there, too. But anyway, Ronald Reagan was thinking about running for governor. And he had a limousine and had an antenna on it. It was huge. And the radio, which was a wireless phone. This was before wireless phones even existed, but he had a lot of money. And he would call the talk show every time he was in Lancaster. And Dimmitt would challenge him. Finally ended one day, and I said, Mr. Reagan, you best stay head of the Screen Actors Guild, because let me tell you, I am psychic, or was it psycho? I know things, though, and you're going nowhere in politics with your strange ideas. So I hung up on him. Well, the show ends. And this is where some amazing things started. The show ends. Producer comes in. His eyes are huge. He says, you know Reagan, who you hung up on? Lee Marvin's friend? I said, yes, I do. Yeah, I hung up on him today. I thought that was pretty good. He said, well, maybe it wasn't. He's out in the parking lot. He wants to talk to you. So I thought, boy, should I go talk to Lee first, have him work it out for me? Every time I talked to Lee, he had a picture of a drunk horse in his office. And he would tell me again and again, that horse deserves the awards, not me. That horse, drunk as he was, made me. And that could have been true, I don't know. But I heard the story a lot. But that wasn't going to help right now. So anyway, I went out there to talk to him. The window came down. He says, why do you think I'm not going anywhere in politics? I said, because you're a right-wing fanatic. This isn't a right-wing country. Leave that to countries over in Europe and things like that, not in America. And he said, well, so let's talk. I'm going to buy you breakfast. Let's go in there. Well, that was the first of a number of breakfasts with a man who would become president, not just governor. It didn't hurt to have that friendship. It did not hurt. It helped. When I was doing a show in Seattle, the President of the United States said, "You're going to Seattle? Make sure you talk with Dimmitt. He's there. He's dangerous, but he's gentle. He's nice. He won't hurt you. Make sure you talk to him." That's the kind of a recommendation you need for your talk show. Well, I think that stories like I was going to tell you about what all went wrong at KXL here in Portland, and I still will, but it's a long story, and I want to get it all put together. But I thought today I would just kind of talk a little bit about my love for talk radio and the people it allowed me to meet. And being at a time when the X-15 was flying, when the YF-12A was coming across the skies in moments from Las Vegas to Antelope Valley. Yeah, it was a great time. It was being in the right place, and it never hurts to have a president for a friend. There's a lot of other stories, and I think before I die I'm trying to get them out, because Lord knows I'm not going to be doing any talk shows again. But I just kind of changed directions for this show today. God bless you all. Peace and good.